All right, get those corks ready, folks, because today we're diving into a recipe that takes comfort food to a whole new level.
Oh, I like where this is going already.
We're talking about Tim Mälzer's Labskaus with poached salmon. Yeah, you heard me right.
Now, that's an intriguing combo. You got this rustic, hearty Labskaus, a dish with the roots going way back.
And then you pairing it with salmon, poached salmon no less, which just screams elegance. So, before we get lost in this culinary fusion, mind giving us the lowdown on Labskaus for those of us, and I'm sure I'm not alone here, who might not be familiar.
Right, so Labskaus, you see, it's kind of like this culinary time capsule, especially big in Northern Europe.
Hmm.
Think way back, sailors, long voyages, they needed food that could, you know, survive.
Ah, preserved food, the OG long-lasting meals.
Precisely. And Labskaus, it fit the bill perfectly. It's traditionally a mix of, well, whatever they had on hand,
Hmm.
corned beef, salted pork, potatoes.
Okay, so it's a real necessity breeds invention kind of dish.
You could say that, but here's the thing, it's delicious. And over time, especially in Germany, Labskaus went from, well, let's say humble beginnings to a national treasure. You'll even find it in some pretty fancy restaurants these days.
Speaking of fancy, that's where Tim Mältzer comes in, right? His version sounds anything but humble.
Right. He takes those core ingredients and elevates them. Like, check out his ingredient list. Corned beef, check. Potatoes, onions, of course. But then he throws in
Yeah.
veal broth, and get this roast beet,
Rote beet. Now,
Yeah.
for us non-German speakers out there,
red beets. They add this incredible earthiness, a touch of sweetness, and of course that gorgeous vibrant color. And the way Meltzer treats his ingredients, it's all about technique.
all right, break it down for us. What's his secret?
Well, take the onions, for example. He doesn't just saute them, he schwitzen them.
Schwitzen. Sounds like my gym routine.
Well, not quite. It means to gently sweat them over low heat. No browning, just bringing out their natural sweetness. It creates this incredibly mellow base for the Labskaus.
Ah, I see, building those layers of flavor.
Exactly. And then, this is key, he uses a Fleischwolf.
A what now?
A Fleischwolf, it's a traditional meat grinder. That's what gives the Labskaus this amazing, almost pate-like texture.
Okay, now that's something you don't see every day. So we've got this incredibly flavorful, richly textured Labskaus, and then the salmon. How does poached salmon even work with this?
Honestly, it's a match made in culinary heaven. The poaching keeps the salmon super tender, almost buttery, and it picks up these subtle flavors. It's like this perfect counterpoint to the heartiness of the Labskaus.
It sounds like a symphony of textures and flavors on a plate. And speaking of plates, how does he recommend serving this masterpiece?
Meltzer, he keeps it surprisingly simple. Fresh dill, some garden cress for a touch of brightness, and here's the kicker, cornichons.
Wait, like the tiny pickles?
The very same. Those little pops of acidity, man, they cut through the richness of the dish. It's genius.
Okay, I am sold.
Oh, and I almost forgot. For the true gourmand, he suggests topping it all off with a fried or poached egg. Just imagine breaking that yolk and, oh man, now I'm hungry.
You and me both. You know, it's amazing how this dish, the Labskaus, it's like this journey through time. From simple sailor food to this gourmet creation.
It really makes you appreciate how food traditions evolve, how something humble can be elevated.
It makes you wonder what other hidden culinary gems are out there just waiting to be discovered. Maybe it's time we all did a little digging into our own culinary heritage. You never know what incredible flavors and stories you might find.